Hello everybody, welcome to Project Beauty, where we talk about project panning and everything beauty related. My name is Jen. I'm going to be doing a review today for you guys on the Natasha Denona Retro palette. I'm very excited. I paid for this with my own money, but I'm so excited to have it in my fingertips right now. I just got this a couple days ago and I didn't think I was going to be doing this video, to be honest, but I did a quick video on the new MAC release. I don't know if it's up yet, but I did a video on that, so that should be coming up shortly. And once I did that one, I really wanted to get into this one. So I'm going to be doing that now. The palette looks like this. It's just a very sort of neutral, almost like creamy pink kind of shiny palette. Just like the other Midi sized palettes. This one was $80, $87 Canadian. And then on the inside it has the mirror, which is frosted, which I like that she does that. It also comes very nicely wrapped in bubble wrap and in a box inside your Sephora box if you're ordering it from there. Probably the same from the Natasha Denona website, I'm assuming. I've never ordered from there. But this is what the inside of the palette looks like. And of course, as you know, on the back, these ones are all changeable, so if you want to move any of these shades around, put them in color order or something like that, you can rearrange these or take them out and put them into another palette if you so desire. I really enjoy this. I buy I think pretty much all of the Midi palettes. I don't have a lot of the small ones, but I did order a couple of the 5 pens, and I have the Mini Love palette, the tiny one. So I do enjoy this format. I wish I could afford to buy all of the larger palettes as well, but I just can't drop that money on one single palette when I can get a few palettes for that price from other brands that have really good quality and pigmentation as well. So that's just my personal take. If you do that, that's great. I am honestly very jealous. I wish I could do that, but unfortunately I am not able to do that personally. So I just want to go ahead and get started into the eye look. So what I'm going to do is put on my Milani eyeshadow primer right now. I was using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion last year, and I honestly do prefer the Urban Decay one, but this one isn't like literally such a close dupe, and it doesn't cause creasing on my eyeshadows. So sometimes when I use the Glam Light icing primers, the shadow bases, those ones crease heavily on me, and I'm not sure why that is. I do have oily lids, so maybe it's just it doesn't work for me, but sometimes I do like having sort of a colored base so that I can at least apply the eyeshadows onto a clean surface instead of having some pigmentation and everything on my eyelids. And I don't use concealer because that creases as well on me. So I use the Milani right now, and I also like to use the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. So let's go ahead and start with the shade Mod, which is right here. It's the creamy, really light creamy shade. I'm sorry that my camera is not focusing. It never ever does for some reason. I'm not sure if it's because it's focusing on the background or whatever, but it never focuses in on the words, so I apologize. Eventually I will be doing a new camera thing, but for now, like I said, I can't afford the big palettes and I can't afford a camera. So as time goes on, things will change, but for now, this is how it's got to be. So this one is just a very basic color, very neutral, just a cream shade, but I love that it's actually in the palette and I don't have to go hunting for one because I have so much eye space from my eyebrow to my crease. I do like to set underneath my brow. Oh, I got a little color there. I do like to set my brow with a cream eyeshadow all the time, and I do change it up depending on my tan and everything for the season. But because I am losing my summer tan, I definitely enjoy having a light cream in this palette for sure. And for me, this is more like a fall and winter vibe type palette, which is obviously like it's coming out at a good time. It's a little more like fall-esque as opposed to the Love palette, which for me is more like sort of February time into spring kind of thing, and even summer because it's so nice and vibrant and bright. This one to me is more like fall winter vibes, but of course wear your eyeshadow whenever you want. It's not like, you know, there are any rules. So I'm going to quickly take this MAC 217S And I think what I want to do first is just create the sort of shape on the outer part and my crease. So I'm going to go in with Groove, which is right here. And we'll see it comes off like very pigmented. So I'm just going to lightly press that on into a shape. Yeah, I barely pressed into that color and I tapped off my brush and I still have so much pigmentation coming off, but I just want to get a little bit of shape and then fill it in. So I'm sort of creating a larger outer corner kind of thing and then just pressing it on to the outer corner of my eyelid. And I will go back in again. I'm just, like I said, I'm creating sort of a guideline for myself. I do really enjoy the Natasha Denona formula. It's not something that I use all the time. I find that I have to be in the mood to sort of use these eyeshadows, but this palette really speaks to me. The color story is everything I enjoy. I love mauves, I love reds, I love maroons, berry shades. So this palette specifically speaks to me a lot. So now I'm just going to start filling in on both sides with that color. And I do want to add quite a bit of depth, so I will be going back and forth with the shade quite a bit. But you can tell it, you can apply it light and it does build up really, really nicely. I can hear my husband singing to my child while they're washing his hands. So cute. All right, I really love that. I will probably go back in and deepen that up a little bit further. I do want to deepen up this side though, because I did put quite a bit on the other side. So basically what I just want is like a nice deep crease and a nice outer corner. Really, really enjoying this color called Groove right now. It's so pretty. And I don't want to fast forward or anything, or like speed up or cut anything out. I don't want to edit anything. I want you guys to see this real time. So now what I want to do is sort of buff up that color a little bit, and I'm going to go in with Amara right here. It's the sort of bottom right shade, and I think I'm just going to take a nice fluffy brush and lightly dip in that and go, oh wow, that's a lot of pigmentation, holy smokes. So I'm just going to take that right over top of the other shade called Groove, and I'm just going to do like windshield wiper motions back and forth and really buff that out and up, and then little circles and just bringing it up a little bit higher, but really blending it out into that sort of creamy shade that we placed down, because I want it to be a nice gradient. Like you can see that this side has a very harsh line. This is a little more gradient. And then I'm going to go back in with Groove and just build up back and forth. I like to take my time with steps. I know maybe some people just want to like apply it and have it just automatically be blended, but for me, I really like to take time and process the colors and see how they work for me. And I went back into Amara and I'm just blending that out again. And then again back into Groove, and I'm just going to deepen that crease a little bit. So where I have placed this Amara stuff, it just kind of clumped there and it's not disappearing. So I do want to bring Groove in that area a bit and sort of dissipate the splotch, if you can see what I'm talking about. All right, and then we'll go back into Amara. I'm going to just tap it off lightly and then blend out this side. This is a really pretty color. It's a little more like Santa Fe style, like kind of, I don't even know how to explain this color. It's just, it's very beautiful. It's like a rosy, but almost like a burnt rose. It's so pretty. I definitely enjoy these colors, especially if you have like blue eyes or green eyes. Especially green eyes would look so good with this. Actually brown eyes too, but it is a palette that will suit all eye colors. I think now I'm going to take the shade called Rebellion, which is right here. And I might even dip a little bit into Opart, which is right here. It looks a lot more like gray toned on the screen, but in person it looks very dark brown, very different. I don't know if it's because of the lighting kind of bouncing off the color, but I will be taking an M434 brush from Morphe. This has a little bit of color on it, but it's not anything that's gonna like adjust the color from this palette. And I'm just gonna take that on the outer corner right in the crease and down toward the lash line and just really press that in there. These are beautiful, beautiful eyeshadows. I think these are the cream to powder formula, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, so don't quote me, but that's what it feels like. And you can just see it automatically made so much depth compared to the other eye. I wanted to combine them both because that Amara shade was a little more burnt, so I wanted to make this Rebellion shade, which is the more red shade. It looks more like a wine, like a Merlot kind of style shade, and I wanted it to look a little more burnt as well, so that's why I added the brown into it, just to make a different sort of tone to it. I'm just so beyond happy with this eyeshadow palette. It's so pretty. I'm going to go back into Groove just a bit and sort of gently take that along the crease. I think that will look okay. All right, and then what do we want to do for the lid? I have a few options. I'm thinking I want to do Psychedelic, but I think that is a topper shade. Yeah, very much a topper shade. So I'll see what Glitz is. That is also a topper shade. I think I'm going to go in with the shade Hello. Do I want to use that? That would be pretty nice, and then I can go in with a topper. So yeah, I think I'm going to go in with the shade Hello, which is right here. And then I'll probably go in with this, yeah, this one right here for a topper over top of it. So let's lay down that eyeshadow in the shade Hello. And I'm just going to use a eyeshadow brush and just place that on the lid. And I do want to bring it up a little higher into my crease, because as I age and as I rest my face, you can sort of like if I do this, most of the color goes missing. So I do want to bring it up a hint. I might sneeze. I'm so sorry. This is such a beautiful, like, I mean, I'm already telling you, it's so pretty. It's such a nice palette, and these all blend in so nicely to each other. It's just such a nice, easy to wear, easy to apply palette. It's gorgeous. So now I'm going to get my Too Faced glitter glue, and I'm just going to place that all over where we just placed that shade Hello. I'm going to go a little bit generous. To me, this is generous with glitter glue. It's not that much, but to me, that's a bit generous. And I'm just going to form it into my ring fingers, and then I'm going to apply, and then I'm going to apply the topper shade. Because this is a powdery eyeshadow, it's going to pick up on your finger because you have the glitter glue base down. So just make sure you're patting lightly and not picking up a lot of that powder, or it's going to just show the skin underneath. And then I'm going to go back in with that eyeshadow brush and I'm just going to brush that off and pick up a generous amount of the topper. It doesn't look like I'm picking up much, but definitely on the eye it will look different. And then I'm just going to place it gently over the eyeshadow so it gives it a little bit more oomph. And you can see I'll press it into the inner corner and then let it sort of fade out. So definitely a really beautiful shade. Now I'm going to go back into my other eye. So you can see this is Hello with nothing on it. So no glitter shade, and just how much that glitter shade like opens up the eye. If you're looking for something more neutral, then you can just stick with this shade. But I'm just going to go ahead and lay down my glitter base. And then apply Psychedelic right over top. And again, I'm really pressing it into the inner corner and then letting it sort of fade out. I really, really, really like this. I'm going to try and get a little bit more on actually. There, that's a little bit better. So I feel happy with this. I definitely want to start on the lower lash line now. I am going to be going outside, so that's why I'm not wearing any face makeup today. I don't know if I said that. I'm going to be going outside with my kid shortly. I'm going to play some bubbles and have his grandma over, and so we're going to hang out outside and chill for a little bit. And I don't want to wear face makeup. I'm going to be putting sunscreen on shortly, so basically what I'm using, I should be saying this, I'm using Opart and Rebellion, and those are the two darker shades that I used in the outer corner. So I'm using those just to cross the lower lash line. So I'm combining those two shades. Really beautiful. Just really easy to apply, easy to blend, just really gorgeous colors and really nice formula. And then I'm going to be going in with, I want to do a different shade. What is this one? That's a little bright. Let's try Andy, I think. Oh no, let's try Go-Go. That's this one right here. I might be making a mistake with this because I think this is a possible cream to powder formula. It looks like it, but we'll see. Oh, that's perfect, actually. Really enjoying this palette a lot. Basically giving you my total review as I go. I don't want to just wait till the very, very end and tell you. I want to make sure that you know if I'm enjoying a color or not. And so far, every single color has been really, really nice. I really want to see Rebellion on its own. I do feel like adding that darker color Opart in there is really overpowering the red color. So I think I'm going to go back in with Rebellion and I'm going to just go right over top of that dark brown and just bring a little bit more like rouge to it, a little more red to the color or to the look. I feel like this is super like grungy and cute. I don't know like if it's just me, but I really like it. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a brown eyeliner. This is just an Urban Decay pencil that I basically used all up. And I'm just going to add a little bit of color to the lash line. Just a little. You can probably just use the eyeshadow as well. I more so want to keep it a little bit thicker on the outside and just like almost nothing on the inner part of the eye. And then I'm going to take a very short shader brush and go in with the Opart color, which is the dark brown color. And I'm just going to press that onto the liner. just to give it a bit of a smoke look. I really love this. So it just gives that little bit of a smoky effect. And now for the inner corner of the eye, I'm just going to take that pencil brush again. And I think I'm going to go in with Swing, which is right here. Very nice sort of like mauvey shimmery shade. And I'm going to put that on the lower lash line on the inner portion just to bring in again some more purples. I guess you could call that purple, or like maybe a dusty pink, dark pink. I love that. I love that so much. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some mascara on. So I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Major Volume Mascara. And this is in the shade Noir, so black. And I'm going to press at the lash line and pull up. Really, really pretty. Just really enjoying this look. Very smoky, almost grungy, kind of seductive looking. I enjoy it a lot. So I think what I enjoy most about this palette is that it's just a nice size. It's not too much product. You can change or take out the eyeshadows if you want to. You don't have to keep it the same way. You can also put them into like make your own palette, which I really enjoy doing. I've been doing that a lot with my single eyeshadows this year, and I think next year I'm also going to do where I just kind of select a bunch of stuff into its own sort of like my made palette, like a palette that I would like to make with my single eyeshadows, and any kind of palette that I have that I can take the shadows out, including the Natasha Denona ones. I might do that as well. I'm also using the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara on my lower lash line. All right, really happy with this look. I definitely would usually put more mascara on, but I'm just going to pull you in a little bit so you can kind of see the shades together. I've really enjoyed this palette. I love the color selection. I don't mind that there aren't any greens in this. I feel like that gives her an opportunity to make, like, say, a retro 2 kind of thing, and then do another palette that you could definitely play well with, like this palette, and hopefully a palette in the future that has some more greens. I will be probably ordering the mini retro down the road, but I just ordered some other palettes, and I really have to watch how much I'm spending and just like play it safe. So it's unfortunate that I'm not able to get more and enjoy more, but at the same time I do definitely love the eyeshadow palettes that I own, and I really enjoy this one. Just want to show you the inside again. I'm not going to do swatches. I was going to do swatches, but I think there's so many on the internet right now. And also, I think what I will do is a very quick swatch video on its own. So I will do this video, and then a couple days from now, I'll probably post just swatches, because I do definitely want you to see that. But I also feel like it's really important for you to view how these eyeshadows play on the eyes. Just a note, the cream to powder formula I feel like is best used with a synthetic bristle brush, because that is made also for creams, and natural hair bristles are, I feel like, more geared toward powder products. So it's definitely something, I mean, the synthetic you can probably use with both. I use my all synthetic brushes all the time because I have an allergy to natural hair bristles, but I also noticed in the past using her cream to powder formula with natural hair bristles that it doesn't pick up as nice and it doesn't blend out as nice. So I feel like using all synthetic brushes really helps you use that formula a little bit better, and I feel like you have to sort of play with it in order to get familiar with it and what works best for you. What works best for me may not work super well for you. So just play by ear and see what works better on your application. But I definitely recommend the palette. It's a really nice size. It's just a good size palette. It's not going to take up too much space on your vanity, or if you want to take it with you on a trip, it's easy to travel. It's got a nice hard case, and the mirror inside is ridiculously nice, and it does sit up. You don't have to hold it up. It does sit up nice. So there's so many positives about this palette, and about her line in general. I highly recommend it. I was sort of in the beginning like not an anti buying from this brand, but it was very expensive. It was very like bougie for me, and $87 for one palette is incredibly expensive. But then I realized when I'm buying my MAC singles and I'm buying each individual one as a single, that's like, depending on if I'm buying just a pan or the actual pot, it could be anywhere from, you know, $10 to $26 or whatever it is, depending on the eyeshadow formula you're buying. And if you're buying a whole palette of that, you multiply all that together by 12. I mean, your palette is easily over $100. Easily. It could be over $200 depending on the kind you're buying, or if you're buying in singles and depotting. So I realized that I was putting a lot of money out for palettes anyhow, and that this didn't seem as bad as I thought it did. But I definitely still can't bring myself to buy the $170 palettes. It's $170 Canadian, and I think it's like $129 US or something. But I'm enjoying all of the midi size palettes that she's brought out, and I just have so much fun playing with them, and I really want to see more of the little minis. I'd like to get a few more of those to play with in my collection. But I hear those you can't take out. Like, unfortunately, they don't have in the back these little things where you can take them out. So that kind of sucks, but you know, it is what it is. They're so small that you can just take it out when you want to use it. But long and short, I really enjoyed this palette. I like the formula. I like the way the eyeshadows performed. I did have like that little splotchy here, but it's easy enough to sort of blend around. It's just, a tip would be to say tap off the brush a lot more, because these eyeshadows are so pigmented. But for me, I usually just stock on the eyeshadow anyway, so it's not too bad for me. I can always make it look a little bit more dramatic. But I do like the way that this performs. So I really hope you guys enjoyed my review and my application. Please watch for the swatches video. I will have that up hopefully very soon, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye.